Artie, Zen. Yeah. Look, we're just gonna throw some bars in, have a bit of a laugh, have some fun. Hope you guys like it. Much love. You know it is. Come on, you ones.
And good evening and welcome back to West Ham Network on this Wednesday evening stroke Thursday morning for this young man here. How are you, Kieran?
G'day, Sean. I'm cold, mate. The winter has come. As you can tell.
I can see the breath.
You can see the breath, mate. It got down to 3 degrees overnight. So I got up this morning late because I went, I couldn't get out of that bed, mate, the quilt on. I went, no, this ain't normal. Still a beautiful sunny day. Still probably 18 degrees.
A day on the oil rigs or something, wearing the hat and that.
Yeah, I know. I thought I'd throw this on for a few minutes just to make it, just to accentuate the fact that I'm fucking cold and I don't like it. I've got this, I really want to, forgot about this old hat. My boy bought me this, right, about a year ago, right, but he just bought it out of some shop, right, and it's too big, geezer, but with the old bobble hat, it sort of fits. Otherwise,
start a new trend there, son. Hey? Start a new
looks
trend
like something
there.
out of fucking, looks like something out of Deadwood.
Yeah.
You ever watch that series?
Yeah. Let's say hello to some of the people in the chat now. I will explain to you that this went up at 6 o'clock UK time this morning.
I'll skip through that lot.
I'm just going to quickly acknowledge that Randy was in at 7:20 this morning.
Yeah, good skill, Randy.
Rich was in at 7:30. He said, hope everyone's well. Sorry you fell asleep last week. Caught up Thursday. Great show.
Yeah, I see your message, Rich, in the comments, mate. I know you fell asleep. That's all right.
Yeah,
we can send. It was a bit flat last week as well, geezer. Not so much you, Budge, but I was a bit flat last week. I don't know if it was just a realisation that we're shit and everything, but I was a bit flat last week. So try it and load it up a bit this week.
Yeah, I'm sitting here this week in agony. So.
Oh, good. That's nice.
My hips are absolutely mate.
Are they?
I wish I could swap them for a crocodile's hips. You know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
That's the only mention you're going to get of crocodiles tonight, by the way, guys and girls. There's no croc watch tonight.
Yeah, muckers have been quiet, mate. Too cold for them sharks.
No one up. But anyway, just want to say thank you to Dean for joining up earlier this evening. That was at 7:20, 8. So, and there's a little thank you for him from us. Randy's in the house. Good evening, Randy. In answer to your question, I would sign Budgie and Cieran up to be the new West Ham owners with any luck. Well, listen, mate. The club are already up shit creek. Let's a little further up.
Well, we might not solve the problems, but it will be exciting.
It'll be fun. There'll be good football. There will be good football.
Oh, God. Big hand straight in, geezer. Fuck Potter off. Big hand straight in. Really fright. Cat among the pigeons.
We'll get to that in a minute, mate. Randy says he would like in Jonathan David, as there's still a chance with his Napoli move falling through.
Not him again.
Wishful thinking. I have got a player that I've earmarked that I like as well, Kieran. We'll do that in a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we seem to be going for Jonathan David every transfer window since before Prague. Absolutely, Rich. In fact, I
Yeah,
I
it's
was
never ending, isn't it?
talking. This is how long ago it is that we were talking about Jonathan David. I was talking to Peach about him when he first came up,
Yeah, I
and that
remember
was
having some
probably
conversation.
18 months before Peach passed away,
Yeah,
and he's on 2 years
crazy, eh?
now. Yeah,
Honestly, I reckon Jonathan David, we talked about him so much, probably on a wage from West Ham. He
yeah,
already
you
he
know.
thinks he's got one foot in the door for the last 5 years.
John, good evening, mate. He says, "How are we going to sign anyone? The club haven't got any money. We're going to have to turn over, mate. That's the
Yeah, mate.
problem."
Got a wheel and deal goes up. That's what I got to do.
Yeah. X has given us a sliver of a chance of signing him. Well, that means it's not going to happen then, because I'm sorry, X hasn't been right yet. This well, actually, no, that's not true. That is not true. Actually, X is pretty cool. Actually,
Ah,
I know what you're talking of. West Ham News. They're the ones they're the ones that always get it wrong. Everyone's saying hello. Ketter's outcome will be in 2-3 weeks' time. So apparently this saga ends. That would be good, wouldn't it, mate? Daz, good evening, sir.
hey,
Thank you
Dave.
for joining. Rich is still here with us. Good evening, Mark. Thank you. Evening, Budgie Cieran in the chat.
Yeah, Mark.
Don't suppose we could sign a new owner, could we? That would be nice. That would be the way to go.
Unfortunately, you can't vote them in or out. You've got to get someone to buy them out, and that's not happening.
Yeah. Good evening, Howard. Thank you for joining us. Harry Punk.
Howard.
Everyone's saying hi again. And then Brandy's asking a really good question here, actually, Kieran. Just a quick thought on Spurs sacking Ange and replacing him with Thomas Frank.
It's one of them guys that it's they've jumped. I always thought they would sack him. I thought if it weren't so much money involved with Ange in his wages and his payout, I think he would have walked away, to be honest. But I always thought they would sack him. Yeah, Thomas Frank's a safe, good manager. There's no reason why he won't do well. But it's one of them, isn't it? They bring these managers in, right, to win trophies, right? And the guy delivers a trophy and Champions League and they sack him because of the league form. My opinion is that, see, you know, I've always said, Budge, I don't give a fuck about our league position. I want to win trophies. So Angie's perfect for me. I wouldn't have given a shit about finishing 17th and winning the Europa League and getting into Champions League. I wouldn't give a shit about 17th. I know what I would say about that. I don't want to be going, if I was going as a season ticket holder, I wouldn't want to be going there every other week and getting beaten by Ipswich. And also, that was bad. But his injury list was fucking ridiculous, right? He definitely, after January, prioritised on winning that trophy and he sacrificed the league for it. Now, it's not acceptable to be shit in the league all year, but you've got to get the end result in the cup, and he did it for them. I always thought that he would.
Thomas Frank's the right move for them.
I think he's a good, solid manager, Geezer. Look, they've had Conte, they've had Mourinho, Ange, Pochettino. None of them, bar Ange, has delivered a trophy. What would they be happy with? Right? If Thomas Frank finished next year 6th in the league, that'd be a good season for them, wouldn't it? From where they were, 17th to 6th. But he'll get Europa League and no trophy. So what you, as a fan base, what are you happy with? If you're a season ticket holder, I think you'd be happier and seeing better football at the stadium. You're going every other week as a season ticket holder. But would you rather have that trophy than a good league position? That's what you got to ask yourself. I know I've always been, I don't care about league positions. I want to win trophy. I want to win the FA Cup again. So it depends what your opinion is. If you prefer the league, trying to get fourth for Champions League, fuck me, good luck with that one. That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, look, we finished 15th and won the Conference League. And
Yeah.
I didn't hear anybody really with any great, emotion moaning too much about the league position in that season.
No, there was a fair bit of... Not what we wanted there, Geezer. What we wanted now, we wanted him to... We did want him out long before that. So, to me, if he'd just walked away then...
I'm not referring to the David Moyes situation. I'm talking more about the fan base, right? Now, the fan base, we've been crying out for a trophy for 43 years, and the club delivered one.
We got it.
The club delivered one. And, within that, we had 3 great years of playing European football against some of the best teams in those competitions, okay, some of the worst as well. But, you take the rough with the smooth in competition, and you got to play and beat who's in front of you. It doesn't matter. But the fact is that in that one season, we really didn't, those of us that really care about the club, really didn't care about the 15th position, 15th place. We cared that at the end of that season, we lifted a trophy, unbeaten in the competition. That's what mattered to most of us, I think.
Yeah, that to me that we won a trophy. The style of football, look, the difference is, I'd say, with Moyes though, Budge. I can't stand the style of football that Moyes plays, right? I thought he'd done well in the first couple of seasons because it was we were counter-attacking well, and we had the players to do it. The upcoming of Declan Rice, we had Antonio on fire, that little stint of Lingard, all the things sort of, Suchuk come in, hammer of the year, Sufal came in, was good. Everything seemed to fall in place there for Moyes for a couple of seasons. But then he reverted back to his real style, which is so defensive and boring. And that's why I wanted fucking him out. Not because of our league position. It's because of how crap it was to watch West Ham play football. Now, you can't say that. If you want a bit of excitement, you can't say that about it. It's quite exciting. But I just got fed up of losing. But, like I said, he sacrificed the league for that cup competition and got him into the Champions League. It's as simple as that. Which
is the competition that the club want to be in. The club in general. That's
exactly what they've been trying to achieve. back to Champions League. Yeah. So, to be fair,
the child putting his ticket through the fucking turnstile, they all want Champions League football.
Yeah.
They had a taste of it a few years ago. And then,
to be fair, I think in a way, I'm glad they've sacked him. I'm glad Andrew's away from them. He done what he said, man. He told them, and they all laughed at him. I always win in my fucking second season. They all laughed at him, dude.
And yet he did it.
And he did it. Mate, that takes some balls to actually make that comment, I'll tell you that now.
Usual asking.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Randy, just coming back to this one, not used to Cieran wearing a hat. He wears that most weeks. Keep the sun off his head.
No, he thinks this isn't a hat.
Yeah, the fedora sort of thing, isn't it? No,
I'll be off in a minute, mate, because the sun's just coming up and hitting me. I'll be back to me, my white hat. A fucking couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can go. There you go, Randy.
Also, Randy, the question that you asked about the window, we will come back to that in just a couple of minutes, mate. I've starred it, so we'll definitely come back to that one, mate, because I actually did have a quick look at that. Mark says it's beautiful there.
Is it?
I thought Australia was always hot.
Well done.
Pretty cold.
It's if you were leveling up the very top end of Australia, it is. Their winter is about 30 degrees up there in Darwin. That is fucking ridiculous. That's serious tropical heat up there. So yeah, it is up there. Here we have a beautiful winter in Brisbane. Say we're in the middle of Australia, on the East Coast. We're in the middle. Darwin's at the top. 30 degrees winter. We can have really cold mornings like this to 3 degrees. Doesn't really ever get much colder than that. Still get up to 18 degrees. You go down to Sydney now, it's fucking freezing. Victoria, they've got snowfields, geezer. They go do skiing resorts, you know. So you can't generalise about Australia. You just can't. It's a continent, mate.
Yeah, so it's kind of like all weathers within one piece of land.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, could say that. Yeah,
well, the land mass of Australia is huge anyway. We know that.
Yeah, it covers most of Europe, geezer. If you've ever seen that when they put the Australian map over Europe, it fucking covers nearly all of it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Bit of Russia to one side and maybe a bit of
Yeah.
Good.
So if you think about the difference of the Spanish weather to yours in the summer, that'll tell you how different it can be. It's like that.
Brendan's so funny. Look, evening chatters, Cieran, Budgie, our spiritual leader
Brendan.
on Wednesday evening.
Yeah, we're very spiritual here, mate. You've got to be supporting West Ham. You've got to have some faith in something. We're not sure what.
Oh, hang on. Today, Howard's been listening to Bedouin Sound Clash, whatever that is.
Who's that?
No idea, mate.
Neither do I.
Right.
Okay, I'll just put the kettle on, Budge. I've got to get me a heat up.
Yeah, go on, mate. No problem. Budgie's hips don't lie, mate. They don't. They let me down every bloody year. It was a beer with I had some broken ribs, right? Snake hips. Good evening, Raven. Good to see you. You're on X, I see.
Raven?
Thank you. Raven. Evening, chaps. Can't see 3 degrees for the night.
Yeah, they were all right, Raven, weren't they? Real 3 degrees. They were nice.
Yeah, they were. Thought you were talking about Brady being the shark. Broken tooth is playing up. Oh, mate. I know what that's like.
No, toothache is the worst than that.
Good evening, Ted. You going skiing? No, it's just a little bit chilly there, mate. He's just warming himself up. Starting a new trend: bobble hats and trilbies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this could be in, geezer.
It's a beanie. Without the bobble on it, it's a beanie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beanie. Yeah, not a bobble hat. It's me mummy used to knit all the bobble hats and them scarves that were 15 metres long.
Yeah, and a scarf that the entire fucking crowd on the East Stand could have worn.
The whole of the North Bank could hold in one hit.
Wrap around yourself about 3 times.
Yeah.
Even when David signs for someone else, we'll still be linked with him. Absolutely, mate. Cieran, my first cue of the evening to you. Is you muffin buttered? Oh, yeah, definitely buttered muffins. Definitely.
Oh, you'd have to if you haven't. I haven't had them for a long time, but God, butter's the best part of it.
Yeah, got to soak them in butter, mate. And then
it has to be butter.
Jam marmalade on top. I love it. I do.
It has to be butter. None of that fucking margarine shit.
Yeah. Paul Flicker. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining.
Good night, Paul.
Sully's going to have to make the one-legged turkey deal look shrewd. Oh, God. 9 years at the LS and we've got no money, says Mark. Absolutely, mate. Right, listen, I think everybody... Oh, no, hang on. Good evening, Colin. Good evening, Budgie, mate. Good morning, Cieran. Mate, you wonderful gentleman. Thank you, Colin. It's always a pleasure to have you in the chat, mate. You can turn off your caps lock. I'll still read them out, bruv. Right, I think I've got everybody that's in. I think I've got everybody that's in so far. Oh, no, there's Ray. Good evening to you, Ray. Thank you for joining.
Oh, right.
And,
Here you go, mate.
and Colin as well. Colin Chilvers is in as well.
Colin? Oh, Colin's in, yeah.
Good evening to you, sir.
Yeah.
There he is, look.
Oh.
Oh, look, turn it off there. Look, good man. Right, hang on. If there's anyone else I've missed, Maltese Hammer. Evening all from Niagara in Canada.
Maltese.
Falls into the USA. Nice.
Oh,
I can
lovely. See now, Niagara Falls, mate.
Yeah, I can think of a lot worse places. Like here,
No. Do you know that once froze over, geezer, the Niagara Falls?
Did it?
It got so cold there, the actual waterfall turned to ice. Yeah, little bit of trivia for you, sir.
Wow.
I've seen the photos. Seen the photos.
Yeah.
Unless they were made up.
Yeah. Brendan says, if we want to stay up next season, can we get sponsored by Viagra?
Never used it, mate.
Fucking brilliant. Right, quickly. Question for Budgie and Cieran. If you were a manager, which manager would you be like? Well, I think I'd like to think I'd be a bit like Stuart Pearce, if I'm honest. I'd be a bit like Stuart Pearce, if I'm honest.
I've wanted Big Ange for about 6 years, right? But with that team at the moment and this board, I think it'd be the worst thing West Ham ever did. He could not do what he does with that team we've got there. It's all so slow. It just wouldn't suit. But I would have Big Ange. I tell you what, he's exciting, mate. He's exciting everywhere he's been. He wins everywhere he's been.
If you were a manager, what kind of manager would you be? Who would you, like, of all the managers that you know of, who would you be more likely to sort of like model your managerial approach like?
Jurgen Klopp.
Stuart Pearce, eh?
Jurgen Klopp. High press, fast. Your left and right winger, right backs chiming in. Just when you're really on the attack, he used to leave just to 2 centre halves to deal with the shit, which they could most of the time. I like the way they pressed, attacked, and when they didn't have the ball, mate, if you ever watched under Klopp, they hunted people down with the ball. They just surrounded them, took the ball off them, and carried on. That's the kind of football I like. It's exciting. I think what's his name there now is a bit more pragmatic, and he won the league with it. But I like the way Klopp did it. It's exciting. But he needed someone like Alexander-Arnold to deliver them balls in, and Robertson when he's at his best to deliver them in from the left. It made a massive difference too. Plus he had Salah to tear people apart on the right wing. You know, there's so much to admire about that.
Randy's asking, in terms of how the window is going at the moment, which there isn't a window at the moment, there was only a week where really and truly it was the high like the high intensity clubs that were really going to be doing any business. So in terms of how the window's going at the moment, I would say it's probably business as usual. You know,
It makes no difference.
Or feeling worried with how it's going right now? I'm not worried about how it's going right now because there is nothing we can do but talk to players and their
look.
That's all.
Well, this question Randy's asking comes up every year, every transfer window.
Yeah.
At this stage, why ain't West Ham doing anything? Like we ever expect West Ham to do it in the first week? We never do. It's the same thing. So I can't be asked to get worried about it. I'll just wait and see how it all pans out.
Yeah.
I'm not worried for next season, a little bit.
Yeah.
Unsure about next season. How can you be sure about next season when you know how many players you could be losing and you don't know? We don't know. I don't think we know one player that's coming in. So I am a little bit concerned about that, and I won't know until I see it.
Yeah.
Everyone should be concerned.
Changing the subject completely, Colin's saying he would have been here last week if it wasn't for his cousin getting assaulted and robbed in Watford. Bastards
Wow.
put her in hospital, but they are going to be found and sorted and taken down road. Well, mate, I hope they do get found, and
I hope so, mate. I hope so.
I hope justice is done. Music chat. So if we are signing no players, how do we field 11 players with players that have gone? That's a good point, Ted, but we will be.
We will be. Ted, we'll have players in, mate. It'll happen. Every year we worry about it, and then it happens. Look, we thought that last year, if you remember. We ended up with 9 of the fuckers. Not that most of them are any good, but we ended up with 9 fucking signings. And we were saying the same things then as we are now. My God, everyone was worried about not signing anyone. And we end up with 9 players. So
Ted,
it's early days.
Explain what you're talking about, mate. If you're talking about that, yes, it's on Timu. But I'm not in a flat. I'm in a house. Right, hang on. So that's another point on the same question. Good evening to you, sir. Mark says Kirkes and Frimpong.
Yeah, I like Kirkes, big time.
Music chat.
He ain't getting in, though.
Okay. Right, now then, we are talking about players, okay, that we ain't got anybody nailed on that's coming in at all. But here is a player, there is a player that I've watched a little bit of. I've watched all of the reels of him, and I've actually found a couple of games on YouTube where he's playing in them for Groningen. Now, the reason I found it is because Groningen are the Dutch team that I follow. So this guy here, Luciano Valenti, right? He's 21, born in Holland, but his father is Italian, hence the name. And he played for the Italian under-21s and under-18s, I believe, but now plays for the Dutch national side, or he's eligible for the Dutch national side. He's 6'2", and he's a versatile, athletic midfielder, attacking midfielder. And then I go on to say he's a box-to-box midfielder who's comfortable playing in any midfield role. Currently playing for FC Groningen in the Netherlands. He's been there since 2022. In his senior career, he has... Hang on, let me just do that. In his senior career, he has played 94 games in all competitions with 10 goals, 14 assists, but he's had 14 yellows and a red card as well. He's a strong, skillful, quick midfielder, and I think, personally, from what I've seen of him, he would be the perfect replacement for Declan Rice that we never got. And he's valued at the moment via Transfermarkt at around €8 million. I'm putting 7 to 8 million pounds, but €8 million it actually was, and his contract expires in 28. So Luciano Valenti, I like him. I like what I've seen of him, and I just think that he's the sort of player that would be the replacement that we never had for Declan Rice. You know.
I want to say about that fantastic name, Luciano Valenti. Oh yes, I'd have him for the name.
Yeah,
that's all I'd say.
And I reckon there'd be a couple of decent songs with that name in it.
Great name,
you know.
Luciano Valenti.
Yeah.
Get him in.
But but honestly, Kieran, from the clips that I've seen on YouTube and that's
a worry though, Geezer. When you say I've seen clips on YouTube, I can see there's a lot of good players out there with clips on YouTube.
Oh God,
I mean, it can be misleading. Let's put it that way. The highlights are the highlights.
But like I said, I've also watched Groningen as well. Like sometimes when there's no British games worth playing, if Groningen are playing, I will watch them. And I've actually watched it, but I never really kept my eye on him so much.
No,
But
exactly.
then I thought about him because the last game of theirs that I watched, I think it was the final game of the season, he was really good. And I thought, that's exactly what Declan Rice was doing for us, picking the ball up outside our box and delivering it to the outside their box. And then he was intercepting. And then he was breaking forward and being part of that forward triangle. And then he was coming back and being part of a defensive triangle. And he was really good. You know, he didn't score, he didn't get an assist, but he was just really good. And I thought, you know, I'm going to have a look at some of the stuff on YouTube, purely and simply because I wanted to know if that was a one-off game for him. But from the clips that they put together, it kind of seems to be his game.
Yeah,
you know,
he's the type of player would be good.
But
I mean, you can tell all these donuts here, right? But have you phoned Potter up and let him know? Have you phoned him up?
Well, no, I haven't. I mean, I was thinking about phoning up Carl Macaulay or whatever.
Macaulay, yeah. Put it in his ear first.
But I've got the wrong number.
Don't phone Sullivan. Don't bother with Sullivan, he's a waste of fucking.
I've got the wrong number for him. I keep getting some actor fella called Carl McLaughlin. I don't know what happened. Fucking Google, you can never trust it.
Oh well, you never know, geezer. Mate, you'll be class if that fucking if we ever get anywhere near this play, you'll be an ITK. How's that?
Yeah. Yes, mate. I did. I got it from Timo. So that you all know. Ravens are asking, could it be the PSR year closes soon and a lot of signings are on hold until then? Now, that's a really good point. That's a
could be Raven, yeah. I think I did hear something about that, didn't I? Isn't it the end of June or something that the new one starts?
Yeah.
But like I said, whether you sign them, there's no reason why we should be negotiating now. You don't have to, even when they're shut for a week. You can be negotiating, and then you might be right, Raven. Then we might start seeing the signings. But I never thought we'd see any signings to the second fucking window anyway, at the earliest. Every fucker's on holiday.
Randy's saying, interesting, could be a Carl Macaulay option you have unearthed there, Budge. Unless Sullivan actually wants to sign him, though, that's the question.
Yeah. Well, he'd have to get the fucking deal done, and that's the bigger question.
I think he's the sort of player that if you presented him to Sullivan with the right information and, you know, some video footage, I'm pretty sure Sullivan would be interested in him. Because, honestly, he is a real Ricer-like. He really is. Saying 4 or 5 million sterling, no, mate, it's not that much of a difference. No, mate, it's literally 1.1 or something to the pound now, isn't it? So it's almost the same sort of money, between 7 and 8 million quid. Trust me, if he's valued at 8 million euros. George says, yeah, he looks like a nutter. That Brazilian centre back also, so will fit in. Okay. That's where Sullivan gets his players from, YouTube clips. Yeah, he certainly did with some of them. Will Salthouse has a YT channel. Does he?
Is he?
A YouTube channel. Howard, I am not reading out that bloody name.
Nothing wrong with that. I used to be great in the box myself.
You're a wrong one, mate. I swear to God.
Used to be buried in the box.
Signing another centre back and offering Antonio an improved deal last day of the window. You put that one up there twice, Troy. Are you on an iPhone? They got a habit of posting twice. I've eaten a few, to be fair, but I'm what I eat. Right, okay, whatever that is.
Yeah. I've eaten more than any. Right,
Good morning, Ryan.
right.
Looks like Budgie's being held hostage in Jack Sullivan's room. But actually, this is my spare room, and this is the only room I've got anything West Ham hung up. So,
Fucking hell, Ryan, what you thinking of chilly morning, sir? Probably love it.
oh yeah, he ain't
Or
far
not.
from you.
No, he's only half hour away.
If West Ham was a TV programme, what would it be? I'd say Deal or No Deal.
Yes, it's not a bad shout.
I'd say it's more like Trump.
Hello.
Mark says Crime Stoppers. Good evening, Phil. Thanks for joining up, mate. Metro Stadium, I had a feeling we weren't going to do anything beforehand. Okay. Magic Roundabout, yeah, probably, mate. Good evening, Ian.
Yeah.
Sorry to late, he says, mate, you're only half hour late. It don't matter. You ain't missed much, really.
You can fucking join whenever you want it. How about that?
Oh, mate, that's a good one. Casualty.
That's just Antonio.
Nightmare.
Nightmare on Green Street.
Yeah, Nightmare on Green Street. Yeah, don't bring my channel into disrepute, mate. Goodness sake. The 18 building, the 18 building something elaborate each week that doesn't kill anyone. Yeah. Ain't going in no clue. Fool. Right, let's see who else is chatting. Colin says, do not trust us to get it right in the transfer market when you don't have when you have Dildo Sullivan in charge. And considering just how many players we are going to need, one goalie, one left back, two centre backs, three midfielders, a left winger and two strikers. That in total, you're saying, is 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10 players, basically a full side. All barring Gareth Bowen. That's it, really, isn't it? Basically,
Well, Bowen and Wan-Bissaka. That's we've got a good start with them two. Then we got to find the rest.
Yeah, but then you see, I think Kilman's worth keeping hold of. I like him. I think there's a lot of improvement from him.
I think it can only get better, guys, because I don't think he's been that great. And I'd like I said, I've always said with this, your price tag does hang heavy sometimes. And he was 40 million, geezer. I thought that was a ridiculous price to pay for him at the time. Not in hindsight. At the time, I thought that's way too much. This is a 25 million pound fucking centre half. So when he isn't performing, you always go back to Jesus Christ, 40 million, really? And it was always going to be the case unless he was outstanding. And the other side of that coin was, fuck me, we paid peanuts for fucking Dawson with no expectation, and we're all delighted with it, weren't we? So it just shows you what a difference that price tag makes.
You got to remember the good stuff that Kilman does for us as well.
Yeah, look, he's a decent centre half, geezer. I just don't think he's been at his best.
And you know, like there was that time when he broke out of defence with the ball, carried the ball right up deep into their midfield area, and then going for him to go in and score. So he got himself an assist on that day. I think it was Everton. We were playing Everton, I believe.
Yeah, he's made some great tackles, you know, the last-ditch tackles as well. He's done all that, but some of his positioning at times and not challenging for headers that he should be getting to, he should be seeing it.
Yeah,
I think it can only get better.
Yeah, that's the stuff that Dawson was doing ready-made when he got here, really, to be fair, wasn't it?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to don't
Cookie
be jumping
says,
in too much.
fix it, flog it. Randy thinks it'd be more like Coronation Street. Brendan says, would I lie to you?
Fuck yeah, they would like us. Fucking lying all the time.
Ryan's laughing his head off at that one, look. Ted says, I'll be the same vet. Some mothers do have them, says Paul. The unbelievable truth. Right, okay. Yes, we'll be going to AFCON next season in January.
Oh, God.
3 weeks, is it? 3
Who
or 4
will?
weeks? Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, for fuck's sake, we don't want that.
Well, no, we don't want it, but we couldn't stand in the way of a man getting him.
I know, he won't stand in the way of it. I just hope he's not. Fucking hell. It's just another pain in the arse, isn't it, when you're losing players to that?
Randy is correct in what he says. You know, we are going to need cover for him anyway. And when we can't rely on one player for the entire season to play that position.
No, we need another right back, geezer. We got rid of Soufal. We need another right back. We need another left back.
Have we got an under 23 right back that could come in? No, we haven't. That's the thing. We haven't got one ready made in the academy. We've got a couple of decent right backs, but not Premier League quality. Maybe give one.
Jesus.
Do you think Sullivan will offer to take Creswell, Soufal, etc. back for 1 year? Happened before. And that is a good point, Rich. I'm not so sure that Creswell would accept. I think Soufal definitely would. I think Soufal would, unless he's already got himself another club. You know?
I think Soufal would stay, yeah, but would I think Sullivan would be interested in taking back? No.
You know, I think he's done his time and happy to go home, you know what I mean? Although he's lived in London for the last 11 years, you know, I think he's happy to go home. And
I don't know what he's going to do, mate. But I'm sad to see him go, to be honest, Budge.
I am.
You know, I wouldn't have let him go until I knew we had another player involved, but they had to sort of release him. But
don't be too
I'd rather
surprised
keep him as backup.
he becomes a left centre back at somewhere like Ipswich or Norwich.
I hope he gets something, yeah. I hope he's got his kids here now and he's all settled. And when I say here, I mean
they all still live up in Essex or up in
somewhere.
Yeah, or you know, whatever.
I just hope he gets a club that he could stay down south somewhere. You know, Ipswich wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, just in the Championship.
Norwich would suit him as well.
Norwich,
you know?
yeah. Any team, even Southampton, ain't that bad.
Well, no, but that's a bit further for him to travel.
It's a bit of a trip, yeah. He'd have to stay down there probably and come home at the weekends.
He'd probably rather go
come home at the weekend when the game's on.
Yeah, he'd probably go and rather play for the Daggers than go Southampton. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a really good question, though, mate. Howard saying up the elephant and round the castle. I remember that TV series. Yeah, Mark saying get some in. Do you remember that?
Get some in, I do, but I don't. I remember the name of it. Well, yeah, well, but
it's a sitcom thing about the national service in the RAF.
Ah, right. Yeah, yes.
The sergeant. The actor Tony Selby was the sergeant.
I half remember it. I remember the name well, but
that's how right you are, sir. Smash the likes, guys, please. Thank you.
Yeah, well, do what you do every week. Don't fucking bother.
Yeah. Yeah, still remains to be seen. Good evening to you, Ryan. That's our job. Podcast. If you haven't checked out his stuff, he had a very
Yeah,
interesting interview lined up, which has been postponed temporarily. But you know, he's had all sorts of decent people on there. It's something, you know,
yeah.
you're a
Me?
dad. You've been on there, have you?
Yeah, mate. I was a star, mate. Fucking yeah. Star.
Have you? What, you went on there without
I
me?
went out there with Adam, yeah, and drove them mad, and they told me to piss off. And that was that.
Fair enough. Went on there without me. What are you saying about that? He left his budgie behind. But in fairness, he has asked me to go on there tomorrow evening with him. So, and I will do that, Adam. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just the West Ham show would be a comedy. Absolutely, mate. Actually, on that point, West Ham Clips did a series called Only at West Ham. That was
Sure,
fun.
there's plenty of content there.
Yeah. Now that should be made in like network TV stuff. That should be. Honest to God. And do you remember when he had Craig Dawson as a striker on Football Manager, and he did a little video series on that as well? That was hilarious. Crystal Palace, you might be right, Tyler. Thank you, mate. I really like your picture, your, what you call it? Thumbnail? I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah, thumbnail. Second game of the season, absolutely, mate. Yep. Dad's Army, yeah. We used to have centre backs that were a threat in the opponent's box. We absolutely did, and really,
Yeah, we used to.
the only one that we've got now that is a threat in the opponent's box is, and it's probably the best characteristic of his game, is Mavropanos. He's a bit of a devil in the box.
But we're not scoring goals from it anymore.
Look at the goal
With
he got
Ogbonna, yeah, we had Ogbonna scoring now and again. We had Diop scoring now and again. Dawson scoring now and again. Now we don't seem to have any scoring.
Ian says Cresswell's moved to Form B. Okay.
Ian, where the fuck's that?
I think that's up by Liverpool somewhere, I would think.
What, cleaning windows? What was his name? What was his first name, Formby?
George.
George Formby, yeah. He was cleaning the windows, wasn't he?
With the ukulele. Ding, 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 ding. Wolves are releasing Dawson. There you go. Get him in.
Yeah, well, I'd love to know the full story there, Mark, because that geezer who took over, he fucked him off, didn't he, out of the squad? Dawson. With a few months of the season to go. So it must have had a massive fucking bust up or something. Because he fucked him off. Don't know what the full story is.
Okay, so Adam made a video on the 5 players he wanted in at West Ham 6 weeks ago. Ramsdale, no, definitely not. Don't agree with you there, mate. Sorry. Pollock at Watford, yeah. Cooper Myers at Alkmaar, okay. Gedson Fernandez, Besiktas, and Lucas Stassin, St Etienne. Now, Lucas Stassin, we've been linked with him anyway. And so I've done a little bit of research on him, and he actually is a decent striker. I've got to be honest. I don't agree with you on Ramsdale. I'm sorry. I like a keeper with a safe pair of hands. I just don't see him as that. I see him as a clumsy oaf, if I'm completely honest with you. I may be doing him a bit of an injustice, I know, but I've never, ever, ever I'd rather go and get David Raya out of Arsenal, if I'm honest. TV show, Bottom, our next. Very good, Ian. Very good. Sup, Randy? Sup, Rich? Rent a Ghost? Yeah, we certainly did with Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, and Ferguson.
Yeah. Andy Horse. Evening, morning, fellas. We won't be doing any real business until the last 2 weeks of the window. You're probably right, mate.
Indeed. Yeah, mate. just wait and see, mate. I just can't be bothered to be worried about it because it's
Colin,
every year, isn't it?
Colin saying he's hearing that Somerville wants to leave because he doesn't feel loved.
Oh, well, then he can fuck off then, can't he? If he don't fucking feel loved. Jesus Christ. He's just been paid fucking millions of pounds for sitting on his fucking ass for the last 6 months. Fuck him.
That's a good one, Harry. Run around. What about Ramsdale? Do you think he's a keeper? No, I don't. I would not have Ramsdale. Definitely.
I've said it before, I'd have Ramsdale on loan only and as a backup. That's why I'd have Ramsdale.
I would not trust him.
I'd have him as backup, Liz. I think he'd do a decent job at that. But there you go.
Dumb and dumb. Oh, we're going.
So I'll tell you what, sooner or later, fucking Areola will go out of form. All right, and we'll be looking to whoever does second keeper. It's happened with Fabianski, didn't it? It happened there where he had to throw Fabianski back in because he weren't fucking performing well enough. So that'll happen this year. So we better have a keeper that we can cover.
Yeah.
Because I think Fabianski, I would have kept him. I would have given him another year. Yeah. And if you're not going to go out and buy a bloody goalkeeper, we should have kept fucking Fabianski. But there you go.
Yeah. Adam's saying Kyle Walker-Peters coming in on a free makes sense. Absolutely. He would be the right wing back that would rotate with Wan-Bissaka, but he could also play on the right with Wan-Bissaka on the left.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that on a free there, yeah, I think, Adam, it's a good option. I don't rate him that much, Kyle Walker, myself. But I think for us at the moment, that would be a good option.
I think
for next season, anyway.
I have to be
I'm
honest.
not a big fan of it.
I think he would be another Wan-Bissaka type signing where we get him in for bugger all. You know, we're going to get him in for a signing on fee, and then he would be. I think he would be, the kind of player like Wan-Bissaka where he really wants to show what he can do, and will put it 100% every week. I like players.
I'm not sure. I'm not knocking his commitment, but I just don't think he's that good. But I think when needs must, I think it would be a good move. Tales of the unexpected. It's plenty of that, Howard.
We're filling our team with relegation specialists, so should be able to get promoted again. X-Fire. East London's burning. Says Adam. I took time out of the chat to hit the like button. Thank you, Mark.
Mark. There you go. Look at that.
Anyone else watching on their phone, we don't mind you doing that for a moment, just to hit the like button.
I've worked out. Do you know? Fucking England again. I didn't even watch the highlights of it, guys. England Senegal. I couldn't be asked, right? I couldn't. I even watched 3-minute highlights of the Andorra game. Right? 1-0 at Andorra. For fuck's sake, Andorra's got 6 people, a dog, and a bike in it, right? And we beat them 1-0. That's ridiculous. But I've worked out how to solve England's problems, mate. Because everyone's been moaning. Southgate killed everyone, right? It was so boring to watch. Yeah. It really turned me off watching England because it was so boring. And this Tuchel sort of started in the same fucking manner. Sideways, backwards, it's sucking hell. So, Big Ange in, Tuchel out. Now, what you will get is excitement. And see Big Ange, mate, the plethora of players he's got to choose from in the England team, you will get exciting football. Whatever it is, Big Ange will be perfect for the job because he'll be able to pick the players he needs to play his style of football. He needs to come into England, fuck Tuchel up. I know he's only had 4 games, fuck him off, and bring Big Ange in, and we go and win the World Cup.
One problem. I see one problem with that.
What's that?
the FA are going to sack him the minute he drops Harry Kane.
Yeah, and he would. If he thought it was the right thing to do, he would
I know
drop
he
him.
would. And he would.
But
would
he
do
might
that.
think Harry Kane's the best thing since sliced bread and get the best out of him. Kane, it's very hard to drop Kane because he is a goal scorer and he scores goals. But I just think you'd see exciting, entertaining football, and that would fucking keep all the English nation happy. They'd be enjoying it again. There you go.
Mate, I'm sorry, but I would drop Kane from the fourth bridge if I could. But no, I just think.
Yeah,
that,
but just the only 2 games he's just had, he's the only one that scored. You know, I mean, it's hard to fucking knock him, man. It's hard to not play him. It really is a tough one. But I'd say he'd play him.
I think had he have played Ollie Watkins, we would not have only have had 1 goal.
He's shit, man.
He's better than Kane. Listen,
He's nowhere near.
Yes, he does.
Nowhere near.
But
Nowhere near.
I don't like him.
Ange brought in Solanke, for fuck's sake. So, you mean, if he could swap fucking Kane for Solanke and Kane hadn't left, he might still have a job. But there you go.
True. Yeah. I just don't like Harry Kane.
Even that's quite ironic, isn't it? They got a trophy and Kane missed out on it. He's only there 50 years and didn't get one.
I know.
Yeah.
So, Harry Kane, what's your biggest regret in life? Leaving Tottenham.
Oh, no, he just won the Bundesliga. He got his trophy, didn't he? So.
Yeah, it's probably
He got it first.
Trophy. No, it weren't actually. The Bundesliga isn't that easy. It's a difficult league to play.
I think he would have loved to have won one with Tottenham.
Mm.
But there you go, Harry.
There you go. He said we did politely tell Kieran to piss off, to be fair.
Very politely, Adam.
Usual says the only frightening thing about our forward line is when Antonio drives the car.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Ian saying Formby, Merseyside, so up by Liverpool. My relative moved his gaff up there. What, the whole house? What, took the whole house up there? Or just drove the truck with all the interior stuff and the garden furniture and
Merseyside, is it?
Tyler says he really likes Stassin's game. Yeah, he looks like a decent player. Mate.
Tyler, I've never seen him, guys. I keep hearing his name coming up with us. You know, the different channels. But as Adam was just mentioned him again, I've never seen him, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
Iron Disciples got it right, mate. He thinks the same way as me. Ramsdale, not Ramsdale. Gedson Fernandez turned us down for Spurs, and he was a massive flop. Good.
There you go.
Good. Yeah, Stassin hit a hot streak of form, but a punt. Levels down from the signings other top 10 are making.
I see Souček scoring the other fucking night as well. He scored another goal in the box with his head. And then they lost 5-1.
Adam says, West Ham TV show haven't got a Scooby-Doo. Yeah, you tell him, Kieran. He says, Gedson been playing well in Turkey and his game has improved since Spurs.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that name.
Oh, chips, says Ted the Hammer. Happy days. Had to grab a spider. Fucking hell, I thought it was one of Kieran's. Body about the size of a bee. should have filmed it for a Croc and Shark spider watch.
You should have done, Rich. He had to grab a spider.
Relegation, Ramsdale. I'm not saying he was a bad player. Do you think Edson would be ready to step up into the Premier League after what happened at Spurs? Good question. Besides, well, Chernobyl. Oh, right. Adam thinks that Gedson Fernandez could offer a lot more in the position than what Alvarez would offer. Oh, come on, Harry. Look, Howard. I once knew a girl that lived in Coles Hunt, Darcy, with webbed toes.
Fucking hell.
What was her nickname? Frog. And because everybody in the
Twilight Zone is he fucking shopping in? Jeez. She's a good swimmer. She'd get away from a shark.
Right, hang on, let's go. Randy says it was bad, Cieran, and England and Senegal deserved the win.
Did they? Yeah, I heard that. I didn't even watch it. I might watch the 3-minute highlights at some stage. I want to see the Senegal goals, if nothing else. But good luck to them. Good luck. That's a big win for them and a great memory for them players to beat England. I heard my boy. Do you know my three favourite players of last season, Geezer, just watching the Premier League in general, right, without West Ham, were Mbeumo, was Gibbs White, and Cunha. And I heard Gibbs White came on and had a decent game in the England team, so I was pleased for him.
Okay. I mean, you know, I got to be honest. Other than West Ham, I didn't really watch a lot of other football during the season.
Yeah, I did. I watch the highlights of every game every week, Geezer, every game. So, but Cunha was the one that stood out to me as fuck, mate, what a player. And then Mbeumo. And Mbeumo was on fire last season. 20 goals he scored, Geezer. 20 goals.
Him and that Johan Wissa. I think that's a
Wissa
good
as well with him, yeah. Wissa had a great season too.
I mean, as you know, I had a nephew that was in the academy at Brentford. So I do follow them a bit. I've got a few of their training tops and stuff that I wear for work and whatnot.
That you stole, yeah.
Well, no,
but I like the fucking Mbeumo was almost nailed on to go to Newcastle. Now Man United were them favourites, and it still hasn't been done. But now Frank going to Tottenham, I wonder if that could influence him to join Tottenham with him. Interesting. We'll see what the developments there, mate. That could happen. Even though I'm not sure Tottenham will pay the wages he'll want, because that's a stumbling block at Man U. He wants serious money.
Good evening to you, Mark. Won't be long for Bowen to rejoin England. Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
No, he won't. It was a good thing. Someone said it the other day. I think it was Gio said it was probably a good thing he missed out on these two games. England have been shit, and no one's really grabbed the headline. So it might have been a good for him not being that, and he'll probably be in the next one.
Cost him a week's wages to cancel his wedding date again.
Yeah, exactly. That's what a life of grief if he cancelled that, mate. It's not a week's wages. A life of grief from the old woman. She'd be fucking in his ear. Big top.
Have you seen the little video reel that they've released of their wedding?
No.
It's really quite nice, actually, mate. I mean, it's professionally put together.
Okay.
You know, but it's kind of down to earth as well. You know, it's quite good. And when him and Danny Senior greet each other, that's quite nice. But Danny looks like a fucking like one of those Swedish porno stars from the bloody 70s. You know what I mean? With his moustache and that, he's obviously got it doing it for a.
No, I've
part.
never watched any Swedish porn, geezer. I wouldn't know. Fucking know what you're into. Anyway,
mate. Yeah, so Cookie says he needs to be out of the team, but no one has the balls. I just don't like Kane. I don't think he adds too much to a game other than putting his foot on or his head on the ball to get a goal. And I know that that's what matters at the end of the day. But
well, that's an important part of the game, bud, mate.
Yeah, I mean,
look, if you've got another striker that's fucking banged in twice as many as him, fine. But we haven't.
You know, Walker's England days look over.
Yeah.
Pep worked it out a while ago that Walker was on the decline. You're right, Trodge, he did. Tuchel is capable of winning. Whether he can with this team will be the telling, though. He has to deliver. And yeah, but that's because he said that because Adam said he's a knockout competition specialist. At major competitions, that's all that matters.
Yeah, he's that. Well, he is that.
Yeah.
He is that, and I think that's what they're hanging a hat on, that he is that. In tournament football, he can get the job done because none of these friendlies or qualified, we're going to qualify, isn't it? They're not that important. But when it gets to the tournament itself, then you've got to turn up. It's all about that. As Ange Postecoglou did with Spurs. In that tournament, he got the job done.
Yeah,
and that's what he does. And he's done that everywhere. I keep saying, I know it's boring, but he's done it here in Brisbane. He's done it in South Melbourne. He's done it in Yokohama. He's done it at fucking Celtic. Now he's done it at Tottenham. In tournament football, he is a winner. And league football when it comes to Australia and Japan and Scotland. So you hope that Tuchel is that too, you know, to take over Chelsea when Lampard was making a complete fucking balls of it and then turn them into a Champions League winning side. So he can do it, tournament football, and that's what the FA have got him in there for. So until the tournament happens, then you might see.
He still lost to us when he visited London Stadium, though.
Yeah, because we're better than him. Simple as that. Was that the Masuaku goal, Geezer? Was that goal?
Yeah.
Is it that one?
Yeah.
What a goal by Masuaku. What a player he was.
I know. Great player.
He had flashes of brilliance and flashes of nightmares as well.
I know, yeah. But he was quite good with his left foot, though. And he was quite good at breaking down that left wing and getting.
He was at times, but he was very good at times. He was just a little bit vulnerable defending. But I liked him. Apparently he was very good in the dressing rooms, I heard it.
Mm-hmm. Cookie, I agree with you. Picking Henderson, Kane, and not picking the best right winger in the country, just another prick picking names, not form. And that's, you know, I mean, I put.
You can't say that about Kane, though, Cookie. What did he score for Bayern Munich last year?
I put Jerry Bowen against Saka, right, for stats. And Bowen was on a par or better than Saka on every single point, except for goals, assists. The only thing he was lacking in was assists. And he was
but Saka missed about 4 months of fucking football games the last season.
That's irrelevant.
So, yeah, it's all relative.
If he was that good, he would be far better.
I think Saka's better than Bowen.
I don't.
So, but would I like to have both of them, you know, to pick from? Fuck yeah.
He did, Kieran, and Souček was probably criticised by the Czech media for his recent performance.
Was he, Randy? I just saw the 3-minute highlights, Randy. You know, it's very hard to have an opinion on a player. I just noticed he scored. I was just happy for him that he scored. He might have had a terrible game. Wouldn't know.
Troy says, be realistic. When was England last good to watch? He would say under
I can't
Bennett.
remember, Troy. Yeah, it could go that far back, Troy. I've lost interest. I used to fucking watch every minute of every England game back in the 80s, man.
I think when Bobby Robson was in charge, we played good football.
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah, they're just fucking hard. Southgate killed me, man. I just couldn't watch them. I couldn't watch any of the qualifying games. They bored the shit out of me. And plus, we keep getting groups that are just. I could qualify as a manager in the groups we got. In the last, God knows, 10 tournaments. They've been so easy to qualify for. So it's all about the tournament. And he didn't quite get it.
Not this week, Iron. No shark attacks, no dog attacks.
No.
Spider,
No, unfortunately.
Nothing at all, mate.
There's not as many surfers in the water as well because it's got colder. And the sharks, they're not as lively in the winter, Iron. They calm down. In the summer, they like to bite everything. But in the winter, they calm down a bit.
Yeah. Mark says Tuchel loves his Chelsea boys. He certainly does. Trodge, Shearer and Sheringham era was the last time he liked watching England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Michael Owen hit the scene as well for England, he was good.
I thought I used to quite like it when David Beckham first got into the England setup and was playing regularly.
Exactly.
Really nice football. Although we were struggling to qualify for competitions. Do you remember we actually didn't qualify for was it the World Cup or the Euros one year?
No, we've missed a few over the years, but
yeah.
But even Gascoigne in the team gave you a bit of excitement, didn't he?
Oh, God, yeah.
But who have you got now that really sets the world alight in there? That's why Gibbs White could be an option for him. If he gets better.
Strange comments incoming, I would imagine, Kieran. GP's arrived. Good evening,
GP.
How are you, sir? Oh, no, he's the one. That's all right, don't worry anyway. Everybody's saying hello to him. Croatia were clinical against the Czechs.
Yeah, they were. It was just the highlights I see. They were tearing them apart. Playing good football too, Croatia. Really good. But they were walking around them, passing it around them.
GP saying hello to everybody. Shane missed Spain v France, which was 5-4. It was a quality game. It was. I did not see it though. Randy, there will be highlights somewhere for it.
I think I did watch the Nations League game. They weren't bad. The final itself, he done it again, Ronaldo, didn't they? It ended up 2-2, the final, Spain, Portugal, and there were 2-1 down, and Ronaldo pops up, gets the equaliser. They end up going to penalties, and Portugal win it on penalties. So it's old Ronaldo again.
Yeah.
Another trophy to his name, and another medal, and another goal.
Here we go. I told you. I'm fully awake and erect, he says.
Good boy.
I told you there were going to be some strange ones coming in.
Fucking there's no erection here, guys. It's fucking about 4 degrees now. So mine has shriveled up, disappeared up my arse.
Yeah. BPW 74. If United exit Anana through the window, should we pick him up? Absolutely not. Anana, no. The Man United goalkeeper, no.
Oh, the keeper? No, not too keen. Good shot stopper, but he's flappy geezer. He's a bit of a worry.
He is absolutely a
I'd
worry.
rather have had De Gea.
CJ Egan Riley turning down West Ham to go to Marseille for Champions League football. Okay.
Well, fair enough. There he is.
Yeah. They tap up Bowen on England duty also. Yeah, probably, mate.
Yeah, tap him up all we like. He ain't going nowhere, mate. He's going nowhere, George. Nowhere. That boy's committed.
Usual.
Unless £100 million fucking come in for him, which never will, we might consider it.
Under 21s, England 8-15, Czech Republic 4-1. The draw 14-5. And that's my main reason for saying no. I don't want him injured either. I don't want him injured either. Hold up. Lebanon, Swedish band, excellent. GP says he's not watched Swedish porn, at least not from the 1970s.
It's all German then, wasn't it?
Oh, apparently Arsenal are getting Rodrigo. Couple more beers. Arsenal fans, they'll be singing Mbappe. Dwarf Pong, Kieran, perhaps, says Howard.
Apparently it's the best, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently so. Beer kicking in, tooth easing. Good stuff, Rich. Brandy's the best thing for toothache, mate. Midget porn is big in a small way. Hang on, GP, I didn't mean to put that on there. Good man, Richard. Right, I'm going to actually have a look at these. Yep, I get that. He's saying he's frustrated with how the window's going. Window hasn't opened for us yet. You've got to remember.
I wouldn't get frustrated yet, Bradley.
Yeah,
just let it play out, mate.
Hanging on, Randy, about how we've got no money in this and that. Well, we've got a few players going out when the window opens, so there will be money.
Right, I just oh, Nick, I got up a bit late this morning because it was so bloody cold, and 15 minutes before we were coming on, so I just put the telly on and I went, oh, it's Nick Gillen, right? Fucking hell, mate, he done an 8-minute video there. I wanted to slash my wrists at the end of it. For God's sake. Oh my God. Can't be able to worry about it that much. What will be will be.
Arthur will be AWB's teammate. When they go to the Africa Cup of Nations.
Oh, right. Is that right, Mark?
So who is
I don't even know what team. What team is that? What team are they in? What time?
Hang on, I'm just...
Forgot what his nationality is.
So have I.
Is it not Ghana, is it? Is it Ghana?
No.
Might be Ghana.
No, it's not Ghana. It's I'll tell you what it is. It is Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Jesus, fuck. Okay.
How do I get out of that? Oh my God. Oh, God, here we go.
There we fucking start pressing buttons.
Yeah. I opened it up to. I know when I picked up my keyboard, I hit something and the whole screen just.
Yeah, I'm like that. That's why I try and touch nothing.
Yeah.
Ooh, fucking hell, guys.
So I've heard. Frank has Spurs hair. Spurs fans got to trust Levy on that one. Has plenty of experience hiring and firing underperforming managers. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying now. Thomas Frank has Spurs hair. Actually, do you know what? I think Thomas Frank will do very well at Tottenham, if I'm honest with you. Look at Brentford with no money and like
It'll be all right. I think it will, but there's no guarantees at any manager, is it? No matter how good they are.
Players that have come through Brentford under him. You know, he's a great manager. We could get Thomas. Thomas who? Oh, Thomas Frank. It won't kick in until this tournament is over. No, absolutely not. The Matsuaku goal 3 years back from long range was moved into the net with his mind. Actually,
it was a mystery how it went in at the time, wasn't it? We couldn't work out what the fuck he did, whether he miskicked it or
pushed it into
took
the
a
net.
deflection.
No,
pushed
it into the net, didn't he?
Yeah, eventually. But the way it got there, it looked like it took a deflection. Because it was always looked like it was going to be a cross.
I think the wind must have caught it.
But we'll take it because it was a cracking goal for me.
Howard says the 5-1 game against the Germans was the best game ever.
Yeah, remember that, Howard? That was Owen, wasn't it? Owen tearing them apart.
Yeah,
it was Michael Owen doing them. Yeah, that was that was an enjoyable win. Really good. Really good.
Oh no, hang on. Let's not put that.
But
yeah. Oh yeah, that was quite a good era as well. Brooking and Keegan.
Yeah, they were good together, Rich, weren't they? Brooking complimented Keegan really well. They worked well together. Really did. I always remember that Brooking goal for England. I could be wrong, right? It might have been Hungary or whatever, where he hit a long-range curling shot and it stuck in the stanchion at the back of the net.
Oh, right.
It stuck. The ball stayed up there. Forget. Anyone can tell me what game that was. What a fucking goal that was. But yeah, Brooklyn and Keegan, Rich, you're right. That was good memories, man. They worked well together.
That old sun's starting to break through and you're getting a big old glare on your screen now, mate.
Yeah, it is. I've just got to move away from that, Keegan. See if I can. There you go. Yeah, it's coming through the trees. See it? Put my head. Can't get my head out in the way.
Now, that's probably going to be good. Now, we've got a bit of a glow on the left-hand side now. But anyway, you're better off where you were. Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it.
It's not too bad.
That's it.
I even got my big coat on, guys. Look at that.
We'll have you direct in the next blockbuster. You never know.
Do you know the last time I wore this coat, geezer, is when I met you?
Was it?
Yeah, it's the last time I had this coat on.
Does it still smell of me? From when we hugged. Right. The 82 World Cup. Another great time.
Yeah, where have we gone since then? Jesus Christ. Gone to pragmatic, boring, bullshit football.
Richard's Euro 96 got too many housewives interested in football.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Trudge, you're right. Kane gets his tap in again.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, everybody goes on about how many goals he's scored, right? But
there's a reason for that.
I guarantee you that he has scored 5 times more goals for England from the penalty spot than any other of the players that are in the top numbers. I'll guarantee it.
I don't care.
He scored so many from a penalty for England. So many.
Still got to score them though, guys. Look, regardless whether he should play now or not. You mean every year he was 20 plus or 30 goals a season, and he's still doing that in Germany. You can't ignore that. You just got to play him right, and you got to give him the service that he needs. So I just think we're too fucking pragmatic to give him as much service as he needs. It's like watching Haaland is one of the best goal scorers I've ever seen. But when he hasn't got service, he does nothing. Absolutely nothing in a game. You've got to get the service in there. And I think that's what he hasn't had under Southgate. He hasn't had enough of it. We'll see now with Tuchel how he works it.
Right.
Hey, Steve.
Timo are going to be the next kit sponsors. Oh, no. Good evening, James. Thank you for joining us, mate.
James E.
And Steve Tiley's in the house as well. I'm not going to put a lot of these. Timo has a better logo than QuickBox Books.
QuickBooks, yeah. It's not very exciting, is it?
Big green blob with a B in it, or QB or whatever it is. Isn't it?
Did that sponsor go bust? The one we had with the Scottish Lion on the side of our arm, like where QuickBooks is. That was a good logo. That was good.
Yeah, that was.
Don't know where they were.
Yeah, I can barely remember. I've got a shirt with it on as well.
Yeah,
you know,
was it some finance company or something, or insurance?
You know, the blue panel with the claret stripes in the V there, and then the claret body. I like to call it the
QuickBooks is a little bit boring, and
yeah. Oh God. So, yes, there was a question here. Colin, would you take Trafford as a goalie?
Yeah.
I would too, in a heartbeat, actually. And he's probably a more likely target for me than Ramsdale. Although Ramsdale's looking for an out. And
look, we all want. I think we all wanted Kelleher, didn't we? But
he's going to Villa, is it?
No. Where's he going? Is it Brighton or no?
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't
Brentford.
know.
I can't remember.
Oh,
Brentford. I forget where he's going, but it's already done, isn't he?
Yeah.
But Trafford would be a good option.
Yeah. Right. Trudge says Trafford is a level above where we are shopping at.
Yeah, that's probably true, Trudge. It's probably true.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Brooking was about as quick as Rodriguez. Yeah.
He didn't have a lot of speed, but he just had the brain, didn't he? He had footballing brain.
I was going to say, when we was mentioning the Keegan-Brooking partnership, as it were, for England, I was going to say it was Keegan that did all the running around, passing the ball to Brooking, and then him getting Keegan further up the pitch and things like that.
Yeah, and he became, Keegan was quality.
Yeah, but
Fox in the box
wasn't
score goals from nothing.
Precise. And that's what I loved about Brooking's game. We could do with a player like Trevor Brooking these days for England, and also for West Ham, of course. But we could do with a player like that for England right now. We ain't got one. I think the closest we got to that, really, is that what's his name, fella from Man City? No, not Man City. Man United. Kobe Mainu. But they play him as a defender, so but he's about.
I think you'd like to think Eze could come good. He's a good player, but depends how you play as well, doesn't it?
Is the Josh Brownhill transfer happening? Do we know? We don't know. We can't know. We're not allowed to know now.
Yeah, we don't know anything about that.
Next week when the window reopens. So we don't know, but it did look reasonably promising according to like sort of Gonzo and Gio and like Russ and Anton on the network here. You know, so and I do also believe that Holly might have mentioned him as well.
Yeah, he's one of them signings that don't get you off your seat, but the boy is a good, decent player. Had a great season in the championship last year, but that doesn't mean much at the end of the day. But he is a solid player. I just don't know. It's just not very exciting, is it? What's he got? 17 assists.
Right. So for the 23-24, 20 goals and 17 assists for Bowen, 20 goals and 10 assists for Saka. 24-25. Saka 12 goals, Bowen 14. Bowen 14 and 10. Oh, sorry, 12 and 14. Bowen 14 and 10. Yeah, see, so
It's too confusing.
right. So in the last season,
Yeah,
Saka had 12 goals and 14 assists. Bowen had 14 goals and 10 assists.
so similar numbers,
Bowen
really.
had injury as well as Saka, but Saka playing in title challenging team, Bowen was with us.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
know,
they're
like
similar numbers.
that stand up against Saka all day long for 2 seasons there.
I'm not. They might do. I just believe that Saka's a better player. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
Would I like to have? You know, what I mean, imagine in an England team where you got both of them to pick from. Jesus,
Yeah.
not bad, is it?
Yeah. Steve Cieran had 3 degrees when he started the show. It's down to what, 5
It's a
now, is
bit
it?
chilly, Steve.
Up to about 5 now, I'd say, is it?
Yeah, it'd be about that now, geezer. 4 or 5 degrees. So it's getting better. Right.
There we go. Bassett and Gold.
That was it. Bassett and Gold, Mark. That was the name. Yeah, Bassett and Gold.
Yeah. Ted got
Bertie
it as well.
Bassett.
Yeah, it probably was Bertie Bassett and David Gold.
Yeah.
He was
I think they went down the pan, didn't they?
Fish all sorts or something. Thought that's a good name for a sponsor. Bassett and Gold. Hang on, I'll create a little logo. Anyway, London Pride. Don't know about them. That's a beer, isn't it? That's a beer.
Phil? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how advertising gone crazy here? Yeah, around the world it's mental, isn't it, with some of the fucking advertising. But
Yeah.
the Socceroos now, they just qualified for the World Cup, geezer. Australia just qualified for the World Cup. And you know what? This is how advertising gone crazy here. They're called the Subway Socceroos.
Oh, you're shitting me.
No. You see, you know, when it comes up on YouTube, some of the the bits for them qualifying, it says, it's on the thumbnail, it'll say Subway Socceroos. Fuck me, swing. We're sponsored by Subway. Imagine that with England. Kentucky Fried Chicken, England. Qualify for the World Cup.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Gino's Pie and Mash. Cross your shirt.
Yeah.
Right, though, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? We might have. Right, so Colin's saying he thinks it was Hungary and he thinks Brooking got 2.
All right. Well, yeah, I can't remember that. I just remember that goal sticking in the top of the fucking stanchion. Fucking look brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could have been.
Federer has gone to Brentford. 12 million.
Yeah, it's 12 million to Brentford. Yeah, that's a good buy, man. That's good.
And now the manager that brought him there has gone.
Yeah, and he's out the door.
Yeah. Trafford's gone to Newcastle.
Ah, for fuck's sake. Is he, Phil? Has he gone to Newcastle?
Well, he could be going to Newcastle.
Oh, well. Looks like fucking Ramsdale then, doesn't it? Oh,
England 2, Italy 0 in the 70s at Wembley. Brooking and Keegan were the scorers. That might be a different game.
yeah, I don't know if it's the same game, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got it on my shirt. It says Ted, yeah. Floats like a butterfly, stings like one. Brian Clough. Would you take Grealish on loan? Yes. Yes, I would.
Not for his wages, Ian, I wouldn't. I wouldn't pay him the wages, but
No, but
yeah, as a player.
Because for me, he's the closest player that we'll ever get to having Lanzini at his best again.
Yeah, it'd be he's a decent, good player, man. It's just it's all sort of nothing's happening for him at City anymore. So
yeah, I think he's for me, he's very much in the mould of Lanzini. If you're gonna liken him to any other players that we've had, he's on Soler like wages. Steve doesn't want Brownhill. Is that the truth we're looking at? And he's 29. Never.
Yeah, it's not. I say it's not an exciting signing, Steve, but he's a decent, good, solid player. If that's what you want, that's what you'll get. But yeah, it don't set the world on fire, does it? Josh Brownhill.
Still love Boeing 747 for landing that Mortal Kombat move of a goal on Rice this season. Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Watching the ball go in the net.
Satisfying was that Rice turned round and looked at him as he was heading it in. Beautiful. He actually witnessed the goal as well as missed the ball that he headed. Saka and Madwaki have got age on their side. Absolutely true.
Yeah, that Madueke is one of them. Maybe he looked good.
I quite like him. Grealish would complement Bowen on the left side. I think so. Bowen on the right, him on the left.
Yeah, no harm there, but I dread to think what wages he's on at fucking Man City. I dread to think. They paid 100 million for him, so the wages going to reflect that. It's going to be horrendous. So we couldn't afford his wages unless they're supplementing him. Get him on loan. They'd have to supplement his wages. We're not paying
it. Right, okay. Lynn, good evening. Petrovic from Chelsea.
Hey,
yeah, but he's not for sale. I think my brother's a Chelsea fan, and I think he said that the club has stated that he's not for sale.
Don't know what's going on there, man. They've got about 6 goalkeepers, haven't they, Chelsea? So they can't seem to fucking. I still want to buy another one.
I'd have that Sanchez. Sanchez that they've got. I'd have him. You said it was degrees, Kieran, when the show started. It was the 3 degrees. King Charles' favourite group. 3 degrees of King Charles's favourite group, apparently.
Yeah, he's like them, doesn't he?
Look, there you go. Randy says he'd rather have Petrovic than Ramsdale or Sanchez. Yeah, but from what I hear, and he's only, I think my brother caught it on a like a Chelsea YouTube channel, that he's not for sale. And that apparently that's from the club, but I don't know. 30 million, not yet in talks. Hi, Lynn. Everyone's saying hello to Lynn. Oh, look, I've actually got 1-2 against Scotland, 3-1 win, about 78, 79. Okay. And we are at the bottom of the bloody chat. Can you believe that? Yeah, not Ramsdale. Anybody but Ramsdale. You know?
No, we don't want. I wouldn't buy Ramsdale, Geezer. If we hadn't got anything in place, though, him on loan as the backup, I'd take. But I wouldn't fucking want to go and buy him.
No, I wouldn't want him at all.
Eventually, we've got to buy a keeper to replace Ariola. That's what we've got to look at. If it's not going to be this season, then bring someone in on loan. That makes sense to me. And maybe next season look at spending money on the goalkeeper.
We did that with Ariola, you know, with the we were replacing Fabianski with him, and Fabianski stayed for another 2 years or whatever.
Yeah, but he was good enough to keep it, wasn't he? He was good enough.
Oh, he was, mate. And during the Europa League, the second Europa League, you know, games, when we were using Ariola as our league keeper.
Cup keeper, yeah.
Hang on 1 second, mate. Let me just quickly mute the mic.
I think there are options. Yeah, Randy, I don't see Grealish coming to West Ham, mate, at all. But I wouldn't object to it. Jesus Christ, he's top quality. He just hasn't had much of a look in with City this year. He's been left on the bench mainly.
Yeah.
For £100 million player, it's a bit weird when you leave him on the bench, isn't it? You go, fuck.
Yeah, my son lost his phone, can't find his phone, so he's using mine to call it. Just better not lose mine. We have to start the improved starting 11, not players who are on the bench. Yeah, we have to buy first team players. Absolutely. I'd even sell Kilman, help fund new players. We paid 40 for him. Walshaw's coming, 20 mil at best for me, makes so many mistakes.
We cannot afford to lose that kind of money on him. We've got to keep him.
And you know, I'm sorry, but I don't actually agree with that. I think Kilman's the best centre back we've got. And I'd keep him.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Well, but he's gone now. So
did I hear the other day? Right, I've been saying it all season about Tadebo. Right, you can see that he's a decent player, but to me, he's not looked fit all season. Also, I can see it in him. He's not fit. He's not right. He looked like he gets out of. He just got out of bed when he starts the game. There's something about him. And then I heard a thing the other day. Apparently, he was playing with an injury all season. I don't know if that's true, but that would back up what I was thinking. Going, geez, guy don't look right. Yeah, so I'd like to know what the full story is on that.
I recall you saying that to me on many occasions, Kieran. So
I did, Geezer. I kept saying it. He just doesn't look fit. Now, someone said the other day on one of the channels there that he's apparently been carrying an injury. So I want to know what that is and whether they get sorting it out or what the story is with that.
Yeah.
Because it did look that way. It would just confirm what I was thinking.
I mean, he showed some real good glimpses of what he can do.
There's glimpses there, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's glimpses and there's others where you go, oh, my God, what are you doing?
Yeah,
but he didn't look fit. He just didn't look fit.
He's marring his movement or whatever. And, we've got a few more comments in here. Kilman may come good second season.
I know so, GP. That's what I think. But if he has been carrying an injury, they've just got to get that sorted so he can look like he's fucking up for it, because he didn't.
Selling him now is bad for PSR. Absolutely. Shame about Trevor Brooking losing his wife. R.I.P. Hilker. God bless the family. Absolutely, Rich. Did you know about that?
Yeah, I think I did see something about. Was that a few weeks ago though? But
No,
was it this week?
within the last sort of 5 or 6 days.
Oh, for fuck's sake! No, maybe I didn't know about it. Shit,
Yeah, no,
she was always with, wasn't she? She was Swedish, I think, wasn't she?
always, yeah.
She's
Always with
always been with her forever. Yeah,
yeah,
that is a shame.
yeah. And Lady Brooking.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
said, Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a shame, man. You always saw her, in the stands and that when he was playing. They'd always put the camera on her here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely looking lady.
Yeah. So Phil's agreeing. The way Pietar is, we
No, you can't. You can't lose that kind of money. Fucking hell. It'll be a disaster.
Yeah, there's no point talking about selling Kilman. He's not going anywhere unless it's online.
You can't. Not so. Tadebo is the one I think needs to really step up. But I'd be interested to know whether that injury thing is true or not.
Yeah, that is interesting. Oh, there you go. She was Finnish.
Oh, thanks, Rich. Finished. I knew she was Nordic.
Yeah, okay, Steve. I won't actually read that out loud, but yeah, I'm sure everybody got to see that.
Well,
do Russ and Anton let you do what you want on this show, or do say you can't do that, do this? No, Russ and Anton gave us basically an open door and said, do whatever you like, as long as it doesn't break any regulations to do with YouTube, broadcasting, or anything like that. Now, this player that I spoke about earlier on, Luciano Valente, right? I wanted you to show just a few seconds of clips of him, just to show you what, to sort of illustrate what I was talking about. And I was told absolutely can't do that. So that's the only time they would interfere. And also, sometimes like the music I use for the intros and outros. I mean, like the outro one that I've been using is stuff that I've put together myself using samples. And so therefore, they have been flagging it because they're hearing the samples, the computer's hearing the samples, flagging it up. Although there's no further action, I've decided not to use that anymore. Go back to the old format with the track we use as our intro for the moment.
And to say, that current GP, when we first started with Rossi and Anton, they said, boys, you do you, whatever. So they were really good. So they said, you do your show, do whatever. There was no restrictions at all. Because I think I did ask Anton, shall I cut down a swear? And he said, oh, mate, you do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've seen Russ at midday or 9 o'clock in the morning outside the stadium, and he'll say the F word or whatever. The one word that we obviously are very careful not to use is the C word, because it is very offensive to a lot of people, and it might flag us up. But other than that, mate, we really do what we want, and like we have discussions during the week about the subject matter, but once we've got subject matter sorted out, we pretty much run with it how we see fit.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
they've been really good, GP. They've been really good, mate. Just let us go.
Yeah, I mean, the show is called "Who Should We Sign?" Right, but the fact is, the show is Old School Hammers with me and Kieran. And therefore it goes. We talk about music, we talk about food, we talk about anything, as long as it's sort of decent.
And especially when, once the football season's finished, see you lot, the chat, they basically direct the fucking conversation to the phone,
Yeah.
or the flow of the conversation, should I say? So I don't know.
We like to allow the interaction with the chat to direct, where we're going with the show. Even though we do have, sometimes we'll have set things that we want to talk about. Like for example, during game week, we might want to talk about the fact that Jared Bowen got a knock in training or something, but usually that's helped along by the fact that you guys in the chat are talking about stuff anyway. So, really and truly, we're just the guys that speak your words most of the time, unless we're giving our opinions, or telling our stories and stuff.
And we're going to qualify the Champions League next year. What do you think about that?
Steve, I will point out that you've put a message in the chat about the petition. I'm not going to put it on screen though, mate. Okay? So anyone in the chat will see it, but I'm not putting it on screen. But I have signed it. The best player we can sell for PSR is Socek. It's all pure profit.
Yes. So not Socek and Kudos are they're money earners, and again, we still can sell again. I think we will sell again, and that's some money back. But they're the three. I think where money. I'm not sure we are selling Socek, but I mean Kudos is the big one. But there's no one in there for him yet, and that's the difference. If you haven't got anyone, you haven't got clubs chasing him, then where are you? And I think at the moment, I don't think any club's offering more than 50 million for Kudos because of these last year. And we would rather have 70 to 80, wouldn't we? But I don't think we're going to get that offer.
Yeah. Bill saying Geo is shit hot on the PSR. He's proper put the research into it. So if you guys
apparently, he does.
If you want to know more about it, look for some of Geo's content on Hammer's Chat, and I'm fairly sure that you will get a better idea of what's going on. Howard, thank you so much. Best show on the channel, he says. Howard,
that's a big statement. You've got to tell everyone else that. Now, when you go on their channel, Howard, you've got to tell them. Brilliant. Just annoy them. Just annoy every fucker.
So what? Kilman signed a 7-year deal.
Did he? Randy? Was that Phil and Randy saying that? Jesus fuck.
Wow.
That was crazy. That's fucking mental.
Wow. So if he signed a 7-year deal, then clearly that got to have been sanctioned by David Sullivan.
Of course. Of course it was.
And clearly he felt the 7-year deal was worth 40 million.
I think we're both of the opinion, guys, and we're not writing him off yet. We just think it's been a bit disappointing. And that again, that 40 million sticks, doesn't it? It sticks. If we'd paid 15 million for Kilman, I don't think we'd be so concerned. But the 40 million, we are. Yeah, but I think it will come good. I think it'll get better.
Yeah. They do what they want. They do what they want. OSH, they do what they want.
Basically, Mark, yeah, we do.
We do, basically, yeah, always.
No, I'm sure Russie and Anton would prefer if I didn't slag off women's football. But I think it's shit. But there you go. I can still say it.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, GP. If we sell a Gerd, we get money and it keeps him out of the Premier League, which, because I actually quite rate a Gerd, right? And I think if we were playing against him, I think we'd struggle.
I think he is a kind of defender that might suit Potter, but I don't think he wants to come back. So that says it all. If he doesn't want to, then you're better off selling him. but I think he might do better. I think he was very unlucky with West Ham again. His injury at the beginning, the deep system we had under Moyes, none of it suited him. And I think every time he made a mistake, someone seemed to score from it. I think he was a bit unlucky. But there you go.
Hammerman TV. Good evening, mate.
Hammerman?
Agents, yeah.
Fucking look at them. We need to shoot them.
Yeah.
They're ruining football, mate. They're ruining the game. And I keep saying, I've been saying this for many years, Geezer. But everyone likes to slag off the owners as we do, and every other team does, as Man United have and Arsenal have. But sometimes you've got to look at the players and these agents, how greedy they are and what they want in football. I think it's ruining the game, these wage demands. And that's perpetrated by the player first, and then the agent takes it on. And it's killing football. When you start to play people £1 million a month and more to play a game of fucking football, there's something wrong in the whole game. It's spoiling the game. How can you whinge about fucking ticket prices and season ticket prices? Yeah, a player can want to get paid £1 million a month. It's crazy. It's fucking mental. And even if you're the millions that add in, can you imagine you sign a player and he's getting 250 grand a week? That, it's £12 million for a fucking season for one player. It's mental.
That's more
If you want to take the season ticket prices down, mate, cut the fucking wages. But you can't now because the genie's out of the bottle, and you can't put it back.
A lot of these players are earning in a year probably twice what we might earn in a fucking lifetime, mate.
No, more than 20 times more than we'd earn in a lifetime, Gee. 20 times, 50 times. That's where it is. And when you go back to the 60s, right, I think I see a program once about it, and it was in the 60s, a top footballer was earning probably 4 times the amount a fucking your average person was, right? 4 times. Now it's a fucking, it's 1,000 times, 2,000, 10 times, 1,000 times more.
You know what?
And that's where you lose these players.
I reckon in my lifetime, I've probably earned £500,000 quid.
Well, there you go, kid. Well, imagine that then. Someone's getting fucking even 10 million a year. 10 million a year.
Hey? Yeah, mate. I've probably spent 700,000 though. You know what I mean? In my lifetime, I know I'm not that much in debt. I know I'm not. But mate, listen, I've earned good money, but never that good.
You're never going to get that because it's just the way sport has gone. I mean, when the Premier League started, I thought the wage cap should have come in. But they wanted Abramovich to sign all these players. He's the one that really fucked it for us, right, with these player wages and transfers. The amount of fucking money he was throwing around as a billionaire oligarch out of Russia was crazy. And then it just put everything up. Everything stems from him. But they were quite happy with it because he was bringing in top players from Europe and the world, and to boost the Premier League's profile. But it's cost every other club that, and that's where we're at. And it's still going up every week. I've never agreed with it. I never will.
And that don't add up, mate. You're missing 10%.
Fuck, what does that mean? Oh, what does that mean?
Well, no, he had a comment up here. Hang on, where is it?
Yeah.
Here we go. Kilman had a 50-50 performances like our season. Wait, the season was 80-100. What he meant was 80-10. And even that doesn't... 80 out of 10 was that, mate? I don't know.
No. We're not in the maths game. We don't do maths, Ian. We don't do maths.
Yeah. Yeah, Chelsea are doing 8-year contracts, yeah?
Yeah, they are. Just signed another geezer, I heard, this week for 8 mil.
Yeah. Steve reckons that you'd make a good Doctor Who.
Oh, fuck yeah. Not a problem.
Oh, I'm not saying that out loud either.
Oh, well, what? Let's just say Potter Shag Brady. Oh, I could have done. What, with his missus watching? They're all good mates, aren't they?
More like Dr. Shipman, Cookie reckon.
What is that? Is he the Shipman? Is he that serial killer? Fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who put it up? Is that I?
Cookie.
Cookie, thanks for that, Cookie. Fucking lovely, that.
Yeah. Doctor Who? No, Dr. Shipman. Oh, God. That's a bit below the belt, says Steve. We can't be stuck with him. His value will drop and don't want him loaned out. Who are we talking about, GP? Oh, sorry, here. Sociedad will come in for a Ged. It will be a start.
Yeah, I think there's every chance that could happen. Like I said, if the player doesn't want to come back, then you've got to get rid of him. You've got to sell him. Hopefully, yeah, there is interest in there with Marseille, supposedly, but maybe don't have the money. But I think we do.
Harry's saying he's spunked hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, so have I, to be honest.
Sullivan could buy our ladies' team for a tenner. Yeah, third-party involvement on players has sent the money skyward. And you know what? We're partially responsible for that as a club because of the Tevez and Mascherano deal. That really sent it into fucking freefall. Good evening, Frog. Thank you for joining us, mate. Evening, mate.
Fucking late, Froggy. You're fucking well late, guys. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, mate. And we've been holding off Shark and Croc Watch for you to get here to tell you there isn't one.
Yeah. Nah, unfortunately.
No Shark and Croc Watch this week, mate. Everybody's saying hello to Froggy. That is the major problem, Phil. TV money. You know, the thing is, there's an appetite for the Premier League all around the world. And so, you know, a company like Sky or TNT or whatever that have got, you know, satellite TV or whatever it is and internet and that, you know, they're just going to be selling it to people all around the world. You know, you got to think there are people like maybe even in like the Democratic Republic of Congo that want to watch their national heroes playing their weekly games. So they're going to be watching the Premier League because quite a lot of them do play in the Premier League, you know. But
It's just my issue with it, though. It's always been there is a shitload of money from the TV companies coming into this game, right? A lot. And sponsorships and whatever, right? And billionaire owners. But why does nearly 80, 90% of that money all go to the players and the agents? Why does it? Why does your season ticket price go up every year? Because of that. You're trying to cover wages. The wages is where the money's going. And these fuckers don't stop. And they've got the PFA behind the players' union behind them. They will never, ever agree to a wage cap. They would never agree to it.
Mm.
And I think it's been spoiling football for a long time.
I think so.
It really has.
Until the game collapses, basically.
If you could cut down your wage bill by 50%, can you imagine what you could put into the club, the facilities and everything else? You know, we wouldn't have the shit training ground we got now if it weren't for all them wages going on. We would be able to look forward. We don't have billionaire owners who are prepared to throw their money in. We don't have that. If you've got that, like City have got it, or Chelsea, or Newcastle, who can
Or Everton.
really. That doesn't affect PSR. They spend it on. They got the money to do that. We haven't. We've just got millionaire owners on paper.
I
That's
really
it.
like what Everton's owners have just done, though.
Yeah, lovely stadium, man.
They
Got
built
a lovely
brand
stadium.
new stadium for their club, right?
Yeah.
And Goodison Park has been given to the women's team.
For now.
No.
Good.
Well, they've got the lease on it until it runs out.
They've got the lease on it until they decide to sell it.
They don't want to sell it. They've given it to them.
No, they probably don't, but someday they will.
Never know. You never know. Froggy wants to know, has anyone worked out what is going on at the club yet? No, mate. No. No.
No, that's... You need a nuclear scientist to work that out, Froggy. His pony.
I have respect for Ramsdale for saying that he's pony and doesn't give a crap. Ferguson was not even owning up to being crap on the pitch because he's out partying, not caring. That's a fair comment. Well, Mark says, yeah, Frog, Sullivan's ruining it. Leon says, we don't know. They don't know. No fucker knows.
No.
Randy says it's a shambles at the moment, but we'll wait to the end as they get better their act. Oh, they better get their act together. Yeah. They reckon this Club World Cup is worth about 100 million to the winner.
Really? No wonder they're all doing it.
Yeah. Even more next time it comes round. Even more next time it comes round. Moyes got an OBE, I see. He did indeed. And in his little chat to the media afterwards, he mentioned his job at West Ham and the people at West Ham, and said thank you to them for helping him along his way on his journey and so on and so forth. It was quite nice to see, really, to be fair. I'm glad he got it. You know, former West Ham manager. You know.
Oh, good for him. Yeah. Good for him, Geezer. I mean, it took him 40 years to win the trophy. It took Big Ange 2 seasons, but I'm not bitter. And he got the sack.
Took David Moyes 3.
If he got an OBE, good for him.
Yeah. Took David Moyes 3 seasons to get that trophy. 3 full seasons.
Took him all his fucking career, Geezer. There you go. Ash Postecoglou's got about 30 trophies. But I'm a bit biased when it comes to Big Ange.
Yeah. There you go.
Sirens are going off like.
Oh dear.
The birds are quiet, guys. They mustn't like this cold weather either. Can't be bothered to make a noise.
You know, Kieran, that embarrassment will push our owners to fund and invest in our training ground.
Yeah. You'd think so, Leon, wouldn't you? But they don't want to invest their own money. It means they've got to spend it without no return. And they're not doing it. When you've got an oil stake behind you, they'll do that. You know, the likes of Man City or Newcastle, say, or the billionaire owners Chelsea have had, they'll spend their own money on it and not worry about losing it.
Yeah.
But these fuckers ain't going to do that. I don't think they've got it.
Still saying Sullivan's out on a super yacht for the week. 500,000 rent, 500k rent. With all the dolly birds, have you seen the photos? No,
I haven't seen the photos, Phil. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen the photos. But that's the world he lives in, mate.
Harry said he's sold a piece of work that he's done called Iris for 9.7 thousand.
Oh, good stuff, Howard. Good stuff, mate.
Yeah,
Was that? I take it that was sculptor. Yeah,
carved in
he
6
carved
weeks.
it over lockdown. Brilliant.
Nicely
Oh,
done,
no.
Harry. Nicely done.
Good skills.
How many times Moynes mentioned winning the European trophy after every time he speaks and turn it into a thinking game?
You can't blame him, mate. His first big trophy. He's there with his dad. I can imagine he's a very happy boy with that.
Ian wants to know, sirens, does that mean croc attack?
No, yeah, it's an ambulance, I think. But there you go. We've got an ambulance centre not far from me, geezer. So sometimes you hear the sirens. It's usually an ambulance coming out.
Yeah. Imagine Australia v England at the World Cup. I take it your Gigi would be up in your house, Kieran.
Yeah. No. I've always supported England, regardless. I mean, you like to see Australia do well. That's it. But it's always been England for me.
Wouldn't it be nice though if it was like Australia-England quarter-final, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, you love it. Like, so I've been to the Ashes here.
Up to meeting us, you know.
The Australia-England rivalry is great in cricket and in rugby union. It's a great thing to watch. It's not so much in football because they're never going to be on the same level with it. But yeah, it would be interesting to watch England play Australia. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Randy says he don't have a problem with him mentioning it. No, I don't either, Randy, because it keeps it current. All the time it's him doing it, it keeps it current. Because he is the manager that did it. So you can't take that away from the man, you know?
Yeah.
And it keeps West Ham in the consciousness as trophy winners, European trophy winners. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Moyes didn't deserve MBE. Nobody who earns great money and gets rewarded with trophies, etc. Nurses, firemen, etc. working 80 hours a week, they deserve them. And they do.
What is that? What? The people in sport are always going to get, an award.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think when I'm sure when England,
firemen, etc., they do actually get things like that. We just don't hear about it because they're not in the public eye.
Yeah, you know? They do. I'm sure, if I remember rightly, when the World Cup was held here in the rugby union, when England came here and won it, I think all of the fucking players got an OBE just for winning the World Cup in rugby, which is a little bit, really. But that's what they do, mate.
Yeah. Whatever that is. And anyone in chat, do you remember the fight between Francis Lee and Norman Hunter, Derby v Leeds in the 70s classic punch-up? Yes, vaguely. I do remember it. I've seen it recently on a clip on YouTube, and yeah, I do remember it. And it was quite a thing. Proper fists, and yeah, it was really.
Yeah, I do remember it vaguely. Yeah,
crap. Pac-Man got baptized. Okay, cool.
Oh, no.
Knighted for services to horrendous football team.
Yeah. Sending everyone to sleep.
Howard says he loves what he does. He's free to create whatever he chooses. Hopefully, my pieces are worshipped, GP, especially the wooden sex toys.
Yeah, mind out for the splinters. You better fucking sand them down well, Howard.
Yeah, Howard, I really do need to contact you because I actually
Yeah,
do
we
want
need help.
something done. No, I really do actually want something done, either
Yeah.
carved or sculpted. I actually do want something done, and it's a dog, basically. A dog that I've always, wanted to have carved and or sculpted. Beautiful animal. Um, yeah, we all want that, mate. We all want that.
Yeah.
Will we finish higher than Man U next season?
No,
Probably not, mate.
no, I don't think so.
We did this season, but only by pure luck, really. The fact that Man United were worse than us on the day.
Again, it depends on this transfer window, doesn't it? Like all teams, Amorim is there. Like, yeah, they were horrendous last season, but the same old adage: oh, there weren't these players. So Amorim now, and he is a top coach, he's regarded as a top coach in Europe. He'll bring in some players and he'll unload a load of players, and you'll find out exactly what we're going to do at West Ham. See how your recruitment works, and again, you live and die by it, and you'll find out. But are Man United going to be as bad as they are this season? Nowhere near it. I don't think so.
Archie Gemmell and Keegan at Wembley.
Oh, he's a tough little fucker, wasn't he, Archie Gemmell?
Yeah,
he was a tough little bastard.
Scotland, England, that was. I remember that and all. If I remember rightly, Keegan went in for a tackle and caught Gemmell, and Gemmell turned around and started on him. If that's the incident I remember. Rich, remind me, is that the incident I'm thinking of? FA better do it before start of the season. Yeah, they need to. Don't think West Ham will finish higher than many teams, says Mark. We're yet to see.
At this moment, you'd have to look at it that way, but like I say, 6 signings later, we might be thinking differently, and we just don't know.
Yeah.
You'd like to think that we're going to sign somebody who's going to be half decent, make the team better.
Yeah, we're hoping that this gets settled pretty soon. The thing. Filth has a feeling we go down next season.
No, I'm not even thinking about that. At the end of the day, when we start the season next year, everyone's on the same points, fucking 0. And then we'll see. So with the team we've got at the moment, you wouldn't have a lot of hope. But I do believe players will come in and we'll be better. How much better? Nobody knows.
Oh, he did mean Bremner and Keegan. And it was Charity Shield 1974. Memory, Steve.
Oh, yeah, that's all. Bremner, he was a fucking hard little bastard too. Bremner. He really was.
Cookie saying, Brendan, Budgie and Cieran, great show as always. Me pumpkins turned up, night all until next week. Hit the likes, wankers.
Yeah, thanks, Cookie.
Cheers, Cookie. Pleasure.
Even if they call me a serial killer, I'll take it. Some kind of fame, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we are going to call it a night soon because we've been going 2 hours, 20 minutes almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Night Cookie. One of the others is Rich. You're originally an Aussie then, or just picked up the accent being out there so long? No, he's a bloody East Ham boy.
Yeah. Phil, I'm an East Ham boy. God. I just happen to be here.
Yeah. You have got a slight Aussie twang at times, but most of the time, to me, you just sound like...
No, there's a little bit there goes on, because when I first come here, no one could understand a word I fucking said. So you sort of assimilate a bit just to sick of repeating yourself. So you sort of ease up. I had a real Cockney accent when I first came here, really, really rough, tough Cockney accent. And it eased up because I got fed up repeating myself. They didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. So it has, and there is a little bit of shake. When I say g'day, but sometimes it's, meant to be put on a little bit. But, that's the way it goes.
Thank you, Mark.
Cheers, Marky boy.
Ted, excellent show, Budgie Cieran, night all. Until next Wednesday. Thank you, Ted.
See you, Ted.
Mate.
Mother.
Steve says, poor old Cieran.
There's a mix, isn't it?
Between Jack Hargreaves, Doctor Who, and Harold Shipman.
That's a hell of a mix.
Great night, everyone. Thank you all.
See you, Rich.
Thank you, Rich. Bless you, mate.
Put it in the comment section. Please put a comment in if you'd like to. We'll try and reply, or at least give it a thumbs up if you there's something to say.
We're talking about the comment section that YouTube provide, not the one for the show. After the show's finished, there's a comment section, below the video. So if you could comment in that, we will reply to it, or at least Cieran will. If I think what he said is good enough, I'll probably just say something like, what he said or something, you know what I mean? But
no, I remember Rich put in a comment, he fell asleep and he put the comment in. I'd just give it a thumbs up, fair enough, Well, wouldn't you? Yeah. It's late for you guys over there, isn't it?
Still one of our own, Cieran, he said Rich. So,
I think I am, Rich.
Randy, thank you. We hope it does pick up, mate. Keep the faith.
Keep the faith, boys. It's what? We're all a bit down about things going on at the moment, but I wouldn't worry. Worry about it when we get to the first game of the season. If things in the transfer market haven't gone well, then you think about worrying. But let's leave it till then before we all panic. Yeah. Or you can do a Nick Hilton and just think the world's going to collapse, but it's not. Yeah. It's not.
Look, listen, Cieran, you and I, we've supported this club for many a year. We've seen ups, downs, sideways movements, all sorts, right?
Everything.
We've seen it all. And we've lived through it. The club's lived through it. We're still a Premier League outfit in one of the, highest capacity stadiums in the league, regardless of whether it's a good stadium or not. You got to have faith. You got to have faith that something's going to improve, and then everything can improve. That's it. That's all I've got to say on the matter, really. Got to keep the faith. Exactly. Thank you for
that. A bit of faith, mate. And we'll know, first few weeks into the season, we'll know how we're going. And then you can either be delighted with it or worried. But, I've seen it. When you say it all good, I remember when we were at our worst and being crap, and then we still turn over Man United or Liverpool. But a shock result. We can do that. We've always done that. So
and Man United have been our whipping boys in them circumstances quite a lot, actually, over the years, haven't they? Yeah. Really. I mean, even to the point where, our goodbye to our home, the last game in that stadium that we're ever going to play is against Man United. And at the time, Man United were thumping it, really, to be fair. They were still right up there, top four and all that nonsense. And then we got there and, they came here, or came there, and we beat them 3-2, didn't we, on the night? And what
an amazing finish to Upton Park that was. Fortunately, it is a finish to Upton Park, but amazing. You couldn't have written it, Budge. You couldn't have written a better script.
I've got to give credit to whoever created or came up with the idea or whatever of that video that they played right at the end of Bobby Moore switching off the lights. That video and the fact that they played that right at the end when everybody was due to go home, that was the last thing that that was it. That was your cue to go home. I thought that was brilliant. They played it on the screens and that. I wasn't there. So I only saw it on the TV, but brilliant. Loved it. Absolutely loved that. So yeah. And yeah, Man United have been our whipping boys in them situations quite a lot, which
Yeah.
you know, which is good for us. We love beating them boys.
Well, you remember that I remember I was over in Crete the year that we played that last game against Man United, and we needed to take a point off them for Blackburn to win the league.
Oh right, yeah.
And we did it, mate. And I watched it in a pub in Crete, and mate, we were cheering like we'd won the league. We'd won the league because we held out Ferguson and Man United. It was McCloskey just had the game of his life, mate. It was the Alamo, absolute Alamo, mate. And we survived it and cost them the fucking league title. That was one of my favourites. Fucking loved it.
If I remember rightly, didn't one of the commentators say something about McCloskey, something like about a spider or something, about him having arms and legs everywhere like a spider?
Yeah, there's so much coming at us, Gazer.
Somewhere. Yeah.
It was mental, man. It was just fucking ridiculous how we survived it. But it was all to give Blackburn the win. And we needed that. If Man United win, they win the league. I think that was the scenario. So,
that's right.
Because I think Blackburn lost their last game.
That
they were playing at the same time.
The Premier League, wasn't it?
Mm.
That was the very first Premier League season.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's the only time. That's the only time Blackburn have won it.
Well, yeah, but it weren't the first Premier League season. No, it weren't
that's the only time Blackburn have won it. It was in the first.
Oh yeah, that was it. That was their. They done a bit of a Leicester, but they spent a lot of money to do that because they had Shearer there.
Yeah.
And the other boy up front. Yeah, they spent a lot of money.
Right, so the game that you're talking about, it wasn't Blackburn that needed to win then?
No.
Couldn't it?
I'm talking about we played Man United at home and we had to draw against them for Blackburn to win the league. And we did.
Well, that would have been the first season of the Premier League then. I
don't think it was, but there you go. Forget what year it was, guys, to be honest. That long ago.
But I'm pretty sure they only ever won it once.
Yeah, that was then Blackburn. They've done it the once. And
always look on the bright side of life. Da-dum. Things will never improve while Sullivan and Brady are at the club. Maybe not. Right, guys and girls. Bobby Moore playing that night, it says. Mate, yeah. Right, okay, so.
All right.
95 season. 95 or 96.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it could be about that because I was back home in England there and we went out to Crete for holiday, so. Yeah.
Didn't Ferguson say our performance was disgusting?
Yeah, he did, Rich. He was fucking crying like a baby, Geezer. It was outrageous how we defended like fuck and held them out. Yeah, he was really pissed off. He said something like, they only turn up for fucking play when it's us. He said something like that. I remember that.
Yeah. Right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us in the chat. Cieran, again, thank you. See you next week on screen at least. Anyway, boys and girls, we'll
love you all.
Week. Don't forget, keep the faith. And next week we're going to have a signing to talk about. You never know.
You never know your luck in a big city, Geezer.
There you go. Until then, take care. Come on, you irons.
All the best, boys. See you next week.